everyone, and welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I am Beltless Trevin, making sure Caleb can't say it, joined by Caleb, your current main roster predictions champion.
Two-time,
and our NXT predictions champion, Zach, our cameraman and producers behind the camera. And our editor-in-chief, Gordon, is also behind the camera.
Hola, everyone. We're here to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. So, how are you, Beltless Trevin?
Still got a way to get one in.
Yeah. Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. This Smackdown was not necessarily bad, I don't want to say, because the match is decently cooked, but it was funky. Like, the spots were good, the promos are building to future stories, but the stories that are getting built is, I feel like, a side effect of what we see going on in NXT, of all the big names are getting called up. We actually see 2 NXT stars tonight, later in the show.
Yeah, genuine surprise for both. One cooked in his match.
The other was on commentary.
Yeah, in the same match.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Speaking of some funky stuff happening, we opened the show with Bianca Belair, you know. This episode is taking place on her home turf, so she wants to address the universe in her home turf, being like, listen, I'm still not cleared, my finger's still broken, and to be fair, finger injuries, especially bone breakage, suck. Fingers refuse to heal in a proper manner.
And here comes Naomi.
Yep.
So, she interrupts Bianca and threatens her. She says, it wouldn't be good for you and your mom to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Because Naomi initially says, because Bianca says she is going to deal with all the business she is trying to deal with once she is cleared. Mm-hmm. She can't be here, but she's going to pay close attention to the division and just, once she's cleared, try her best to take care of stuff. Naomi interrupts, says, listen, business is decently handled now, so why don't we get back together? Those tag titles are looking mighty nice. I did so much for you. It's we could do this. And she actually brings up, I tried to call you, and you didn't pick up. I texted you, you didn't answer. I came to your house, no one was home.
What?
So I let myself in.
What?
Yeah. And she further explains, I looked through the photo album you keep on your coffee table, and you look so happy. And you want to know a common denominator of a lot of those photos? I was still in your life.
It's funny because this is very reminiscent of Edge going to Cena's childhood home when they were feuding, except they didn't show Naomi slapping Bianca's mom.
Yeah, but then it escalates to Bianca saying, listen, I can't trust you because I thought we could be a cool trio, some bad A woman, but you decided to throw who I consider a friend on a windshield and take months out of her career, and I just can't trust you anymore because you did it all with a smile on your face, thinking it was for the betterment of me when I could have stood on my own 2 feet.
And speaking of a friend that got thrown on top of a car, here comes the friend that got thrown on top of a car. Jade Cargill.
Yep, because we are transitioning right to the triple threat, and the cool thing is, Naomi is going through a little minor character change of she's not running from this fight anymore. She's like, you know what? F it. And immediately tries to squabble with Jade.
Yep, the brawl ensues, it goes forward, it ends, and we see Jade
sort of stare at Bianca.
Yep.
And Bianca decides, this is my time to go. And as soon as Jade decides, Naomi's laid out, Nia Jax's music hits, and it's made official that the triple threat is taking place now.
And the match cooks.
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a good match. The highlight of the match is Nia Jax crossbodying two people. She crossbodied Naomi and Jade Cargill. It was a really cool spot.
Yeah, like if you would have approached me almost 18 months ago at this point now, and said that these three women would put on a 5-star triple threat, I would have laughed at your face. Because a year ago, I did not want to see much of these people on my screen. But dadgum have they improved character-wise, ring work-wise, and just all-around improvement. Holy.
Nia is making the most of his second run. Nia's been constantly hitting it off the park. I've always been a fan of Naomi. I think she is constantly she's been one of the best female performers in WWE.
Yeah. Jade had some company transition rust.
And there's always a weird hiatus in there, which I don't mind. I mean, it's your body, take care of it, because at the end of the day, your body is what you use to perform.
Yeah.
So take care of it best as you can.
Yeah, but these three women put on Nia a 5-star. I am very hold with on granting something a 5-star, but this is definitely in contention. I definitely would need a rewatch to see if I officially give it that.
And the winner, Naomi.
Yep, she qualifies for Money in the Bank, being the last SmackDown woman to qualify. And for those of you who don't know, the 6th slot, which is the final Raw spot, has been announced by Adam Pearce through social media that one of the participants in the final Women's Money in the Bank qualifier is a surprise call-up participant.
And those participants will be Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, and the surprise new main roster addition, Stephanie Vecchia. Yep, making her official Raw debut. Yep. It's going to be her Liv getting that spot. It's going to be her Liv getting that spot.
Yep.
I think it's going to be Stephanie getting that spot. And that is going to be a stacked match. So, the Women's Money in the Bank is looking like Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, right?
Yes.
Naomi.
Yep. Alexa Bliss. The recently added... wait, no. Hold on. Shoot.
This looks bad.
Yeah, Rhea Roxanne on the Raw side. And then SmackDown side, as all three are confirmed, are Naomi, Alexa, and... Julia.
How did I forget Julia already? Maybe because they're...
Because it was a very abrupt call-up.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. And they're also, like, doing a secondary story with Julia right now.
Yeah.
We'll see that later.
Yeah. But, yeah, our next match is a very interesting one, as they are giving JC Mateo a proper introduction into SmackDown, with his first opponent with his own theme music and ring gear on instead of a impromptu in-street clothes match against LA Knight. It is against none other than R-Truth.
And Tron. So, the way that this match came together was Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and JC Mateo were walking into the building saying, it's a big night ahead of us.
We can have 2 reps in Money in the Bank, which gives us double the chance of coming home with that briefcase.
And Jacob just goes, I don't know about you, but I got my own business to take care of, so peace. Yeah. And he leaves them.
And then JC and Solo run into R-Truth, seemingly talking to Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy returned! In 2025, Little Jimmy is back.
Yep. Jimmy, my goat. Yeah, Cena knocked the Little Jimmy back into R-Truth's head.
And, R-Truth says, you know what? I don't like you. I've never seen you before in my life.
And he's like, he looks at Solo and it's like, is this your son?
He's a husky boy. And then he says, you know what, husky boy? He's like, I'm gonna go talk to Nick Aldis. We go have a match.
Yeah.
So they get the match.
Yeah. It's a match.
Yeah. JC Mateo eats R-Truth alive.
Yeah. So yeah,
Ending
he hits
with
him with
the
the
islands.
Yeah, tour of the islands, and and Solo's laughing, and he's like, like before the 1, 2, 3 is officialized, you can see him start taking off his suit jacket. So he's like, get him up, and he takes off his dress glove to reveal that he's got his thumb constantly taped up just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, sorry to do this, Truth, and he's about to go for the spike before. Ooh! So...
And it's Big Jim!
Yeah!
Jimmy Uso comes for the save, and,
he's equipped with a chair, too!
Yep. And he starts fending them off, and...
Yep.
JC
Solo
Mateo
immediately backs away.
attacks Jimmy, angering Solo. Because Solo wants to get Jimmy back into the family.
Yeah, he's like, why'd you do that? We need him! And I'm like, why you need him? What you planning?
Yeah,
Like, Solo, your plan is not very apparent.
No, JC is becoming a very big wrench in the works.
Yes.
He is gunking up the machine, and he doesn't even mean to do it.
Yeah, and we see him gunking a little more later in the show, but first, we need to reestablish the men's tag division a little after what happened last week. So, your current champions, the Street Profits, come out and say, like, look, what happened last week was interesting to say the least. But we're still on top. We still got the gold. And we know that this tag division is one of the best. And not only this brand, not only this company, but maybe in the entire industry.
Fraxium!
Yep. They come out and are like, now wait a minute. You're talking about how great, this tag division is, but could be better. Because to be fair, we never finished our match, And
we would have beat you.
And they start getting into an argument of, how the match would have ended if the Whites didn't interrupt it. And that triggers Motor City Machine Guns to come out being like, wait a minute.
If you're just going to hand out title shots left and right, we won't want.
Because no one technically beat y'all. You haven't beat us.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of you two have won a match against us, technically. And you can see the Street Profits, like Dawkins, mimicking, like climbing the ladder and taking the belts, being like, did that not happen?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But,
And then... DIY! With Candice LeRae.
Yep.
Look, she's back on our screens, everyone.
Yep, they come...
Now, actually have her wrestle in the women's mid-card division, because she would be a good heel for Zelina Vega.
But they come out being like, if we're going to talk about teams getting screwed, y'all are part of a whole conspiracy that screwed us out of holding that gold.
I love it so much. Johnny Gargano's such a comedic heel. He's like, there is a conspiracy in the tag division to keep DIY down.
Yep. So they're like, and because of this conspiracy and because of a certain family's involvement, we are going to hold a moment of silence for this tag division. Starting now.
And the Wyatt 6 appear.
2 weeks in a row, they're on our screens.
Trevin, I'll let you gush because you love them so much.
They clear house once again. They literally just toss the entire division around like ragdolls. Ciampa tries to escape, but is met face to face with one Nikki Cross, who Ciampa then decides to push a Candice in the way of her crossbody.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. I was like, what a chicken shit heel. What a fucking pussy. He said, here.
Catch. She did not catch.
No, she got caught. That's for sure. She got caught. And then it ends.
Yep. Later in the show, we get a little.
Well, how's it end, Trevor?
Oh yes, it ends with I I believe it was Gargano eating the Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wyatts stand tall celebrating, and
you can hear Bo say, "We love you."
yeah, we love you. You also can say hear him say, "We're here" over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And later in the show, the service glitches out as it is getting taken over by the Wyatts, who Bo is letting them know why they are attacking a scene that has a title involved, as so far all their previous stories have not involved titles, just people who have betrayed each other. And in the vignette, Bo Dallas says, "We won't stop, not until we get what's owed."
Yep. Uncle Howdy makes their message loud and clear. And
Yep.
that's it for the Wyatts. So, will they be back for a third week? I don't know. If they are, I'm going to be happy. This is what I wanted. They just needed a stable schedule. They just needed to be there. They don't need to wrestle every week. They don't even need to show up in ring every week. Just make us aware that they are there and watching to see what happens in the background. Make them the SmackDown equivalent of Karrion Kross.
Mm-hmm.
Or just push Karrion Kross.
Do that too.
That too.
Yes. Hashtag we want Cross.
Yeah.
Give me Kross.
We're probably going to start putting that in the title until it starts happening.
Day one of asking for more Karrion Kross on my screen. WWE, you have 24 hours to respond.
Thank you.
No, they're still not responding to Metro Boomin saying that he wants to make WWE theme songs, that it's been a dream, and they keep Def Rebel on their payroll.
Yeah,
We're more important.
They still keep renewing that contract despite complaints from both audience and wrestlers.
Everyone, man, I think it was who said it on Twitter? Someone said on Twitter that they would much prefer that it was Metro Boomin over Def Rebel. I'm blanking on who it was now.
But if your own employees are saying get these MFers out, maybe you should start listening.
Yeah, and we're gonna move on to something that managed to follow up this segment wonderfully.
Yeah.
It was a tag match with special guest on commentary, your new NXT North American Champion, Ethan Page.
Ego.
Yes, all ego, all psycho.
Yep.
Sitting ringside, matching his suit to the belt, which I thought was great. Wade Barrett spent the whole match gushing over him and praising him and glazing him.
Wade's such a good heel commentator.
And Joe Tessitore was just like, what? He was like a very upset dad who didn't want to yell back, was just, what?
Yeah. But the reason why Ethan's here is because he wants to commentate and watch some of his competitors he will have next Saturday.
And all of these men will be in action at Worlds Collide.
Yep.
Not in the same match, but
No.
these men are the team consisting of Los Garzas,
Yep.
which is Angel Umberto.
Yep.
And then we have...
Yep. Ray Phoenix trying to get some of his grudge against Los out, partnered with none other than that boy Bouncy Javon Evans to some mid-crowd reaction.
making his technical, if you want to get as technical as possible, this is his first time wrestling on a main roster show.
Mm-hmm.
This is his main roster debut at the ripe age of 21.
Yep. The crowd was mixed on the reception, but
What the sky is the limit for Javon Evans. Because especially, like Trevor said, he got mid-reactions in the beginning, and I will attest to that. At the end of this match,
The crowd wanted
on
more.
fire for Javon Evans.
the crowd wanted more Javon.
And it's also been said that Ethan and Javon is one of the better Shawn feuds, like secretly, and I will agree with that. they've stretched this to, I would say, almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year now.
Yeah. But in a surprising turn of events, not as surprising once you remember that Ethan Page is on the commentary booth. He does cost Ray and Javon the match. Javon holds out his own decently against Los Garza. Huh?
No, I was talking to myself. Continue.
Yeah. He does. Javon holds out decently against Los Garza as it turns into a 1v2, but Los Garza has that tag team chemistry to make sure once it does turn into a 1v2, they capitalize.
Yeah, and they pick up the win, pinning Javon Evans. And, I think it's okay that Javon took the pin.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should have won because Los Garza are in a 6-man tag match.
Yes.
And I think very much, Javon's winning at Worlds Collide. Spoiler for Wednesday's video.
Yeah.
Or for the video we're recording Wednesday.
Yeah. But Ray Fenix also not eating the pin is good for him because the internet is talking about how his debut run has suffered a lot of losses at state of him eating the pin.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are correlating of Ray Fenix stock going down kind of hurts the Penta stock also, as they keep teasing a Lucha Bros reunion. And the thing is, if Ray Fenix stock is down and you're trying to drag Penta into it, that's going to hurt Penta stock a little also.
I think draft happens after Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And I think we might get Lucha Bro reunion at Worlds Collide somehow. Somehow.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to happen that way. And I think, do they go to Raw? I hope so. Beef up that tag division. Unless you just want to make SmackDown the goated one and send them over to SmackDown, and we'll take them.
Maybe fix the thing that people said was a mistake and reunify those tag titles.
I don't know. It gets kind of sloppy, but I don't know. I kind of like what they do with the women's tag team titles, but NXT has a very good tag division. Yeah. So I don't want to strip them of their titles, but I liked how it was floating between 3 brands.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that pre-WrestleMania 40, the main roster titles were unified for a stint. And it's like, once they got split, both divisions suffered.
Here's my only caveat to that happening. It's 1 belt. Please just make it 1 belt. I hate them carrying around 2 straps.
Yeah.
It just looks weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 2 separate tag divisions. It's just very lopsided for SmackDown. SmackDown has DIY, Fraxium, Street Profits, Wyatt 6.
SmackDown got the tag division on lock.
Los Garzas.
Yeah.
And Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah. SmackDown got the tag division on lock. Raw, we hate it when there's a tag division segment.
Raw has the New Day, the Viking Raiders.
War Raiders.
Yeah. Sorry.
Creed Brothers. And pick your reps from the Judgment Day.
JD and Finn, you have the Alpha Babes and Tozawa and Otis.
Who have not touched the tag division in months. They've only done singles work.
And then you have the LWO. You had Akam and Razor, but they got released. SmackDown, I guess, had the Good Brothers, and they got released. So Raw is very, very... It is the Judgment Day and the New Day that are the good one, that are head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to tag circuit work. And then you have the Creed Brothers, and then the War Raiders. And I really like the LWO, but they don't position them well. They rarely give them screen time. And whenever you put Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro on the screen, they make magic happen. So yes. I don't know why you don't push them more.
And the thing is, whenever Whenever LWO gets involved in something, it's because Ray's in danger.
Yeah. And since Ray is injured,
there's no danger for him to be in because he's at home recovering.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks. I think the best solution is you trade 3 and 3. I don't know who you trade. I don't know how that exactly works. I like Fraxium in the SmackDown circuit. I think they are more of a SmackDown team and not a Raw team. Raw is much more entertainment based. In SmackDown, there's more of a wrestling program, which is weird that you have one show dedicated to wrestling, one show dedicated to sports entertainment stuff, like just entertaining. And then you have one that's a mix of both, which is NXT, which is the best
consistency.
Best consistency. Like, I don't get it.
What is Shawn Michaels on, and can us fellow storytellers have some?
Moving on to a low point of SmackDown, unfortunately. It is your new Women's United States Champion, Zelina Vega, versus Alba Fire.
New, it's almost been a month.
Oh. Your Women's U.S. Champion, Zelina Vega, versus Alba Fire, Slagent A of the Secret Service. Chelsea is in a face mask.
Yep, because of how bad her nose got busted up. And during this match, she takes it off to try to use the mask as a weapon. And you can see, oh yeah, her nose got effed up.
Mm-hmm. And she hits Slagent P. Slagent P.
Oh, that was good.
Yep. But, yeah, so Piper's out of the equation, and Chelsea's not going to get physical.
Nope.
So this leaves Zelina Vega open to hitting a super good-looking Code Red on Alba Fire for the 1, 2, 3. And the reason why this is bad, you gave the division that is rich with baby faces a baby face champion.
Yeah.
You have one heel in this division.
Yeah.
And that was the former champion. And now, I'm not saying it's as simple as make someone heel. Because I think some people work better as faces. I think BFAB works better as a face, and I think Meechin works better as a face.
Yep. Well, the thing is that a new heel possibly arrives, as after this match, while Zelina is walking off, she comes face to face with new arrivee Julia.
And I think Julia is the one that dethroned Zelina.
Yeah.
Well, there's a potential call-up in Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
They're saying that she is going to go to SmackDown. I'd like to see her take that off of Zelina. Because I'd like to see Julia with the main roster.
The world title.
I'd like to see her in the world title picture.
Yeah. It's like, this segment feels like it has confirmed Julia should not be your pick to win Money in the Bank for the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's also saying we will be fine with either result of if she wins Money in the Bank, cool, that helps the world title scene over on SmackDown. If she doesn't, cool, that basically just confirms that that Vega is losing to Julia and they are building the division around the star that is Julia.
Yep, and as we've said, I mean, Raw did break the streak this week of no Irish block.
Yep.
But Raw has a thing of Irish block where they block all the Irish people together. And SmackDown has their own variation of U.S. title block. It's usually the men's and then the women's, or the women's then the men's. And tonight it's the women's, then the men's, as Damian Priest comes out, issues a challenge to Jacob Fatu.
Yep. Because he says, like, listen, I came to SmackDown, I accepted the trade for one reason, it's because I wanted championships. Now, the world title scene, that doesn't interest me because we got, fake champion over there. But Jacob, I respect you. I have a feeling you respect me, especially after the little thing we had. But listen, I just got done finishing my beef with Drew, and I'm looking for not only more blood, but also that chip I rightfully deserve, so I can regain the proper title for the rest of my career as El Campeón.
Yep. And Damien leaves. And as he's leaving, Jacob Fatu's music hits.
As he is entering for his Money in the Bank qualifier.
And we see a stare down. And that pretty much confirms your Night of Champions match.
Yep. And to be fair, I like this feud.
I think it's going to be a good match. It's going to be, this is the thing. And this is a good challenge. Are Damian Priest's superhero powers enough to dethrone Jacob Fatu?
I don't think so.
Or will the Scotsman return and kill both of them?
No, I think Drew's off till...
Drew's taking a break, possibly until Clash at Paris.
Yeah.
Because Drew loves going to the European shows.
That'd be a great spot for him to return.
Yeah.
But we get into this triple threat match, which sees your United States champion, Jacob Fatu, take on Andrade and Carmelo Hayes.
Yep. And
for the final SmackDown men's representative in the Money in the Bank match.
Yep. And this match cooks. Like, these people are throwing everything in their bag out. Like, you understand why people are getting rehyped about the men's United States division, because these three are the perfect representation about what this part of the roster can do. And it's good. It's great. The Miz, also on ringside as Carmelo's manager, stops Fatu from hitting his sort of hip attack, grabs the leg, and the look Fatu gave Miz realized, oh, I effed up.
We witnessed a murder.
I effed up.
We witnessed a murder.
Yep.
The Miz got murdered on our screen.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier.
Isn't that like the third time he's canonically died?
I know, that would be Carlito.
But he keeps getting yeeted for Carmelo.
Yeah.
And in the segment before the match, Carmelo isn't very grateful. He's saying, like, listen, all these wins are me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was the one in the ring. I was the one who delivered the final say. Sure, I'll give credit to some of your helps, but I did the final stroke. And Miz was like, all right.
Yeah, and while this match is going on, Solo and JC make their way out to ringside.
Yep, and
this causes a miscommunication.
Yep, Jacob hits one moonsault and looks like he's about to go for the pin when Solo gets on the apron, distracting the ref, trying to tell Jacob, do it again. Give the audience something they want, do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob's like, what are you doing? You distracted the ref, I could have had him.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes enough time for the third person in this match to bump Jacob, which in turn causes a huge cycle of new bloodline members bumping into each other. And in a surprise turn of events with how this match ends, we see a finisher montage marathon.
So we get the first 48.
Yep.
By Carmelo to Jacob Fatu. And then we get the message by Andrade to Carmelo Hayes for the 1, 2, 3. And Andrade moves on to Money in the Bank. And I would have been happy if it was either him or Carmelo. Yep. Would have been happier if it was Carmelo.
Yes,
but Andrade
this ending surprised everyone. Like, a couple people were expecting Fatu to get it just for Solo and him feud build. A lot of people were saying this is where you push Carmelo. But no, the odd man out qualifies.
Yeah. The odd man out qualifies.
You do kind of need a high flyer in that match, though. A lot of people who have qualified are a lot more grounded fighters besides Penta, but you need an equator.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like how Ricochet and Logan Paul were those high fly spot moment makers / balancers in previous Money in the Bank years. Penta and Andrade are going to be that this year.
I forgot. I didn't forget this happened. I knew this was happening because I kept advertising it all night long. It was by far the worst segment on SmackDown.
Yeah.
It is our tag title promo. Or not tag title, tag match promo
Yeah.
for Money in the Bank.
Before we get to this promo, we do see post-match Jacob crashes the F out.
Oh, yes.
And so it's like, look, man, our bad, but what happened out there? It's like, I thought we had a clear thing going, and Jacob is like, shut up. I don't need you. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't need you. He looks at JC, and I most certainly don't need you.
Yep. You know what? I just want to prolong the time before we talk about this. Trevin, plug our other channel.
Yeah. So, the channel he's talking about is none other than Throes of Chaos, our TTRPG podcast channel where currently we're playing D&D 5e. I currently DM. My lovely co-host over here plays a Birdman.
Hola, howdy.
Yes. He plays a Kenku Artificer that is not as bad as... That is not as much of a headache as the Artificer that our cameraman has played before.
I just learned how to play Artificer.
Yeah. I did let him build it in.
Playing it right.
And I'm saying I just learned how to play Artificer, and we're about, 30 sessions in?
You need your game.
But the thing is, we are about to release episode 4, but in episode, I believe 3 it was, I let this man build an antimatter rifle.
I mean, he did get the 30.
Little spoiler alert, it's become my best friend.
Yeah.
How's that, people?
You disintegrate.
You disintegrate people some days.
You turn them into biological mush.
Yes.
It's fun.
But if you want to hear this man disintegrate beings such as demons, fish people, and anything you can possibly think of, tune into that podcast, Throes of Chaos, down in the description below, and the link to the channel is also in the bio of this channel.
I also got a horse that the monk tries to race. It's a fun time.
It's a fun time.
See you there.
Yeah. Now we gotta talk about it. We've stalled long enough.
It is Cody Rhodes versus... he's not in a match. It's just Cody Rhodes.
The shittiest soap opera ever.
So, Cody
Adrenaline.
Cody Rhodes comes out to a huge crowd pop, and he explains why he was gone for so long. He basically says, like, listen, after I lost the title, I had to rethink about some things. Some of those thinking sessions involved some liquid friendship, but...
And he goes on to talk about how, he's led WWE through tough times. He's, he felt like he's really put all that he can into this.
Yes,
and he said that he underestimated Cena, and the next time he sees Cena, he will not hesitate again.
Yep, but he's like, but listen, I get it. I get the whole thing is I like talking, but I wanted to gift y'all something upon my return. And I think it's a nice gift. None other than my tag partner, your world heavyweight champion, the better world champion, Jey Uso.
Yeet man cometh.
Yep.
Yeet man arriveth.
I'm surprised his jaw is intact.
No, I'm surprised that someone who comes out later's jaw is intact after... Did you see the
screenshots? Yeah.
Jey Uso kicked Logan straight in the teeth.
Yep.
Man saw Jesus that day.
He ate boot. He literally ate boot. You can see that his teeth make contact with the...
He ate Nike Air Force One for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it was...
And still had leftovers.
But speaking of those guys, after Jay finishes his entrance, they come out and
Cena comes out first.
Yes. And he's like lit, and they're all like, yep, and everyone basically draws heat. It was a very confusing, very weird paced segment.
John Cena says, "You're just mad because Logan Paul does WWE better than anyone in the business." Oh my
The
god.
body language of Cena is like half the stuff he was saying he believes. The other half is up for interpretation.
The best part of this segment was when Logan shoved Cena before a fight. And Cena looked at Logan like he was going to murder him. I don't know if the face turn is coming soon. I think they're planting the seeds of it because I thought he would have been a more entertaining heel at this stage, but no, the heel shtick is ass city.
Yes, especially when one of your stories as a heel involves glazing Logan Paul. It's like, no. Like, even you, like, I bring this up again. Cena's face says it all. He does not believe everything that's coming out of his mouth when it comes to the glazing he did of Logan Paul. Mm-hmm. It was bad. But this talk show ends in a brawl, and the babyface people stand tall with Jay holding up his rightful World Heavyweight Championship, and Cena holds up what was once his, the undisputed...
You mean Cody?
Cody, yeah. Cody holds up what was once his once again, and the internet is saying this looks right.
I can smell the face turn coming.
This shit's so viral, it hit my feed.
And that's hard to do.
I
was on the weird side.
They really fumbled the Cena heel turn. I mean, granted, they got him the title, but they're just wasting the turn itself after he's gotten the title.
Yeah, it has fallen.
Also, they're wasting Jey Uso's world title reign, and this is what's going to piss me off. He's going to have more days as champion, and going to have like 2-3 reigns or defenses guaranteed, and then he's going to lose that belt.
So where's the Logan?
No.
That's
Logan had 3 defenses
in 218
days.
days.
Logan or Jay would have like
120
3 defenses in 120 days, which is bad.
That's still bad.
It's very bad.
Show
especially
the same energy, y'all.
I am. I don't like it very much. I don't like it.
The Judgment Day's tag title reign also suffered from the thing where they defended quarterly.
Yeah, like it's ass. Don't give people long reigns with belts if you're not going to book them in actual feuds. And don't give someone a world title if their first feud is going to be Logan Paul, and now we're stuck in limbo because we have to get through a shitty tag match.
And they're building up where the world champions in this current feud might be your crown jewel championship match.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. But that's it for this very bad episode of Smackdown.
I mean, it was good up until this point.
It was good in ring.
Yes.
But I have been your main roster predictions champion, your first 2-time champion, Caleb. That is Beltless Trevin. Our producer is our NXT predictions champion, Zach. And our editor-in-chief, Gordon, is here.
Reminder that both the belts he mentioned will be defended next Saturday at the double weekend of Worlds Collide, which will be the NXT show we predict, and Money in the Bank, the main roster belt will be defended.
And I ain't losing it. I hope not.
Yes. And I say next Saturday, by the time of release, it is the upcoming Saturday.
Yeah.
Because we are recording this on a Saturday.
But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. And we will see you next time. Thank you for your time. Peace.
Bye!